You didn't walk away because your love ran out. You didn't give up because your heart failed. You left because you grew, because the version of you that stayed would have had to shrink in ways you no longer could. He didn't lose you because you stopped trying. He lost you because you outgrew the places where your voice had to be silenced to be heard. He never expected you to become who you are now. He didn't think the girl who once waited would become the woman who walks forward without looking back. You no longer cry at locked doors or chase after hearts that aren't ready. You've become too aligned, too rooted, too elevated to beg to be seen by someone who closed his own eyes. I have watched you carry love like a seed, even through seasons where nothing seemed to bloom. You kept planting, even in silence. You kept believing, even when hearts walked away. But now you are in a different season, a season of harvest, a season of clarity, a season where your roots go too deep for shallow love to hold. You stopped living in rooms where your presence was questioned. You stopped explaining yourself to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. And in doing so, you became light, unapologetic, unshakable, unforgettable. Now he stands on the outside, not because you pushed him away, but because growth has no reverse. Growth is quiet until it isn't. It happens in your no more moments. It unfolds in your silence, in your boundaries, in your refusal to settle. And now, you bloom in spaces he never thought you'd reach. He thought you would stay small enough to stay reachable. He was wrong. Do not let guilt cloud the truth. You were not lost. You were released. You did not fail love. You honored it. You gave it room to prove itself. But when it couldn't meet you where you were going, you didn't slow down. You kept rising. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. And I say this with all the authority of heaven. You did not lose what was meant for you. What cannot rise with you is not being withheld. It is being replaced. What fell away made room. What left made space. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. He may one day understand what he lost. He may one day feel the weight of what he couldn't carry. But by then, you'll be too far along your purpose to circle back. Not from pride, but from peace. You no longer owe your past the sacrifice of your present. There is no shame in having loved deeply. There is only honor in having loved yourself enough to stop bleeding for someone who never learned how to heal. He didn't lose you because you lacked loyalty. He lost you because you finally became loyal to your own spirit. And oh, how far you've come. Look at the woman you are now. Look at the way you wake up without fear. The way you move with intention. The way your peace is no longer negotiable. That didn't come from being chosen. It came from choosing yourself. He remembers the version of you that bent to fit. He hasn't met the version of you that refuses to. He remembers your softness, but not the fire you built from the ashes of being ignored. And now, your fire warms those who recognize its light. He was simply not one of them. You were never meant to be half-loved. You were never meant to be someone's almost. You were born to be held in full, mind, heart, and soul. And anything that falls short of that is not worthy of you. Not anymore. Not ever again. There are people still ahead who will not need to lose you to see you. They will not ask you to shrink. They will grow with you. They will celebrate the places you've expanded. They will not call you too much. They will call you just enough for everything they've prayed for. You no longer need to explain why you left, why you stopped reaching, why you let go. You simply outgrew what couldn't hold the woman you've become. And that's not tragedy. That's triumph. That's not heartbreak. That's transformation. What you thought would break you, built you. What you thought would end you, expanded you. You don't just carry light now. You are the light. And no one gets to dim that, just to feel comfortable standing next to you. Not anymore. There is power in your new silence. There is strength in your distance. And there is grace in the way you keep growing without needing to prove anything. Let your life speak louder than your pain. Let your joy speak louder than your grief. Let your peace say everything you no longer need to explain. The version of you that gave too many chances needed to be protected. And that's what growth did. It built a guardrail around your heart without making you bitter. It gave you vision without stealing your softness. It taught you to be wise and kind at the same time. He may still look for glimpses of who you were, but he won't find her. She's been transformed. She learned how to rise from the ruins. She learned how to let go without losing herself. She became everything you needed, and more. So when he wonders where you went, let heaven answer. When he questions why you stopped knocking, let silence reply. You didn't disappear, you ascended. You didn't grow cold, you grew wise. And you no longer live in places that require you to beg for love. You've learned that love isn't proven by how long you stay, but by how willing you are to walk away when staying requires the death of your spirit. You've discovered that silence can be sacred, that leaving doesn't mean bitterness, it means honoring your own becoming. And though he still replays moments in his head, trying to rewrite history, you're already pages ahead in a story he was never meant to finish. He wonders if you miss him, but the truth is, you miss the version of yourself that once believed that was love. You grieved her, not him. You mourned the innocence that trusted without question. But now you don't just hope, you discern. You don't just wait, you choose. And what you choose now has to align with the woman you've become. No one saw the quiet battles. No one felt the ache of holding space for someone who never learned how to meet you there. But heaven saw it all. Every time you chose peace over proving, growth over guilt, healing over habit, it counted. And now, the reward isn't just what's coming, it's who you've become. He didn't lose you in one moment. He lost you in every moment he made you question if you were worthy of more. He lost you when you stopped shrinking just to keep him close. He lost you the day you realized love should never cost you your own reflection. And now, he's left with echoes. You're left with wings. There's a beauty in your new pace. You don't rush anymore. You don't chase anymore. You flow. You rise. You align. You trust the timing that once tortured you. Because now you understand, anything that requires you to beg, convince, or shrink is not divine. It's distraction. And you don't bow to distraction anymore. The love you are preparing to receive will meet you where you are, not where you used to be. It will recognize the weight of your becoming and still choose to carry the beauty of who you are. It will not be intimidated by your depth, your history, your healing. It will see all of it and stay. He may try to circle back, wearing apology like a badge. But apologies are not enough when the damage required your full rebirth. This version of you no longer accepts promises wrapped in familiarity. You require presence, partnership, peace. You require fruit, not fantasy. You are no longer asking for someone to see your worth. You are walking in it. You're not waiting for someone to pick you. You've already picked yourself. And in that choosing, you've created a new atmosphere around you. One that cannot be entered by those who once expected you to lower your light. There is no resentment in your new chapter, just reverence. You hold the past gently, knowing it shaped you, but no longer controls you. You look back only to see how far you've come. And when the wind carries whispers of what was, you bless it and keep moving. You no longer crave closure, from mouths that denied you honesty. You've made peace with unanswered questions. You've made peace with mystery. Not everything needs to be solved. Some things only need to be surrendered. And you, beloved, have mastered the art of letting go without losing your softness. He may never fully understand what he had. He may never admit what he lost. But that's not your burden. It never was. You are not his lesson to keep repeating. You are the miracle he was never ready to receive. You were not left behind. You were lifted. There is something sacred about a woman who knows when to stop explaining, who knows when to stop watering what refuses to grow, who knows when to walk away, not out of anger, but out of clarity. You are that woman now, and the world is starting to notice. You carry a peace that doesn't beg to be understood. You walk with a confidence that doesn't need applause. You speak love in a language that only the healed can hear. And that's okay, because the ones meant to walk with you will speak that language fluently. There are new hands forming to hold you, new hearts being prepared to match your frequency. And this time, you won't have to question their grip. You won't have to wonder if they'll let go when you show your depth. They'll come ready. And when they do, you won't flinch. You'll recognize. He'll try to measure the woman you are now with the memory of the girl he knew. But memory can't measure growth. Memory can't touch legacy. And your legacy is being written in real time, with choices born of courage, not comfort. You are creating history no past can erase. Let the past whisper. Let him wonder. Let regret do its own work. Your work is in the becoming. Your power is in the staying gone. Your freedom is in the silence that no longer aches. Your beauty is in the bloom that didn't ask for permission. You're no longer a lesson. You're a leader. You're no longer waiting. You're walking. You're no longer hoping they'll change. You've changed. And your change has built a life that can't be shared with anyone still anchored to who you used to be. Keep blooming, even when it confuses them. Keep rising, even when it stings them. Keep loving yourself louder than their absence ever screamed. Because the reward is not them realizing what they lost. The reward is you finally knowing what you deserve. The garden you've planted will feed nations one day. Your voice will awaken women still trapped in the rooms you left. Your story will break chains quietly and powerfully. So don't look back in sadness. Look forward in sacred wonder. What's ahead is everything you prayed for, and more. You no longer chase closure where peace already answered. You've stopped knocking on doors that require you to silence your soul, to be welcomed. The silence you once feared has become sacred ground. Now you sit with yourself in the quiet and find truth instead of torment. Growth gave you clarity, and clarity gave you peace. And peace, unlike people, doesn't leave. You walk differently now, not with arrogance, but with authority. A woman who's been through fire doesn't apologize for the shine of her gold. You've learned to move without the need for explanation, to stand without seeking validation, to love without losing your center. You've stopped asking to be chosen and started choosing your own path, every step sacred, every breath intentional. There's a softness returning to you now, but it's not naive, it's refined. It's the kind of softness that has seen the worst and still chooses beauty. You no longer carry your history as a wound, but as wisdom. And the woman you are becoming, she no longer has room for the things that once fit easily inside her emptiness. He may remember the version of you who waited, who hoped, who tried to hold it all together. But that version is no longer here. In her place stands someone whole, someone who learned that love given in fear is not love at all. Someone who now offers her heart not as a lifeline to save, but as a home to build within. Let him feel the absence. Let him sit in the echo of what he didn't water. Let his soul do the work that yours already did. You have nothing to return to because nothing that broke you deserves the chance to confuse you again. You are not angry. You're aligned. You are not bitter. You're blessed. You no longer fear being misunderstood. You've outgrown the need to be explained. Your peace doesn't require permission, and your joy doesn't apologize anymore. The ones who can't see your worth were never meant to walk where you're headed. You're not here to convince. You're here to continue. There's a glow to you now, one that comes from healing that was done in secret. The kind of healing that didn't post itself, didn't rush itself, didn't pretend. You did the hard work when no one clapped. You stayed when it hurt, and now you're reaping the kind of peace that only comes to those who were brave enough to feel it all. He will try to make sense of your absence, but it's not his to understand. It's yours to honor. You didn't just grow, you transcended. You became something he wasn't ready to rise with. And while he was choosing comfort, you were becoming fire, becoming light, becoming someone who no longer bends for borrowed affection. You don't miss him. You miss the version of yourself who thought that kind of love was enough. But now you see clearly. You understand what partnership is meant to feel like. And anything less than mutual growth, depth, and devotion feels like noise. You're not available for noise. You're tuning your life to higher frequencies. So keep rising, keep speaking gently and walking boldly. Keep holding space for what aligns and releasing what delays. Because what's meant for you isn't intimidated by your strength, your voice, or your standards. It won't require you to go back. It will meet you where you've grown. Thank you for opening your heart and walking with me through this message. Every word was sent not by accident, but with divine intention, because heaven knows exactly what you needed to hear in this moment. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are blooming in the light of who you've become, and what's meant for you is already making its way. If this message spoke to your soul, type below to confirm, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Let it be your declaration of faith, alignment, and readiness. And if you felt seen here, stay close. Subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss the next message the angels are preparing just for you. Each video is a whisper from heaven, a step deeper into your healing, your purpose, and your divine timing. We'll see you in the next message. Stay grounded, stay open, stay expectant. Heaven is still speaking, and you are still being led.